And so what we attempt to do is to understand kind of NASA's needs, what the crew will be facing relative to what we know from the way we support missions now, and what's in the general literature. And we pull that together and we kind of identify where are those gaps, again, those gaps in knowledge and gaps in mitigation that we need to conduct research to address these issues and fill those gaps and try to equip the crew of these future missions as much as we can. And so we use multiple research platforms to conduct studies. In current spaceflight, I'm sure you've heard about different perspectives and things going on there. From a research perspective, we've, over the years, have supported studies on the ISS, and that's brought attention to issues that emerge. So, reduced sleep and how that can affect cognitive performance and some risks that might elevate. Fine motor changes that can appear during gravitational transitions. And evidence also of neurostructural changes, although those are not really linked to functional performance. We don't know if things that we see like fluid redistribution in the brain, that are there any implications from that? And so that's kind of an unknown. We know the crew come home healthy, they perform really well during their missions. So if there's a risk that's a clinical or meaningful risk there, it's yet to be discovered, but that is something we're taking a look at to understand a little bit more. We have seen indications of stress increases, and that is often tied to workload and just the high tempo missions that can occur. As you can see, things like unanticipated EVAs, those are the kinds of things, just like when we have a presentation to give and we get really nervous about that, that can elevate stress. But we know from astronaut journals and other efforts that really it's an incredibly positive experience, and the crews are very high performing, and they really accomplish very successful missions. Different mitigations, again, that have been worked through are highlighted here. That includes schedule schedule implications, schedule recommendations whenever they're recovering from things like an overnight shift. There's processes and rules in place to try to restore back things like lost sleep and to try to offset chronic fatigue. There's environmental countermeasures like smart lighting to help the crew get more of a day-night cycle. There's a lot of social support that happens. There's, we hear about the plant systems and the diversity in the current food system, exercise, and the psychological support from a great team on the ground that offers conferences every other week for them and is available on an as-needed basis to help the crew if there's issues that emerge. So now we think, again, back to Artemis. So this is where our research now is really focused. And so some differences, again, is going to be things like the delayed communication, the small volume. This is really changing how we are looking at how we need to support the crews.